welcome to another album review. I'm your host Joshua Karpowicz, and today we'll be going over Egypt's Endless Flight. Gotta say, there's like a million bands out there named Egypt, but this band, if you need to search them out, just put in Egypt Doom Facebook. Comes right up to their Facebook page. This is Egypt that has been on record. They recently released a split with WoFat. I know they're covering a lot of WoFat stuff lately. It's literally because like every band that has touched, Can't Stop has decided to release a record this year, which is pretty amazing. And not only that, but Endless Flight, kind of had this big blow up overnight, and for good reason too. I mean, this record definitely, probably, for being the second record from this band, the first one being pretty good, but this one really maturing the band in a really amazing way. Judging by the name of the band itself, you might be thinking that this band is going to have all these Middle Eastern influences, and it's probably going to be pretty cool and psychedelic sounding, but not quite as heavy as you might have hoped. But that's definitely not the case with this album, and definitely not the case with this band. This band is full out heavy. It definitely has a real lot of blues influence on it, especially from the first track. And it kind of harkens back, and not to throw this band kind of in there with them, but it definitely sounds like a really heavy kind of Black Keys sound, in which, the blues riffs are really defined and really trebly at first, and then all of a sudden it just, boom, there's this huge flash of bass, there's this huge flash of just endless sludge, beautifulness coming through your speakers and just pummeling you. And not only that, but the singer is really well versed in this kind of music, and his voice definitely sounds great. It's not that kind of screaming, and it's not that kind of operatic. It's like a perfect meld in between. I wouldn't really say that it's a bluesy kind of thing, even though it definitely has that kind of texture to it. I definitely think he's in a category all of his own. And as I said earlier, as far as the guitar playing goes, it's not all this Middle Eastern influence is crammed into you at once. I mean, they're definitely there, and he definitely has these different variations on a solo in which you would hear that kind of Middle Eastern influence, but you'd also hear a lot of blues influence, and it definitely comes through in not only the riffs and the kind of finger picking playing that you might hear on a regular blues record, but also in this really ingenious way of interweaving that in with this heavy pummeling kind of sound, but it also is kind of close knitted in with that Black Keys, White Stripes, Jack White, that retro vibe kind of thing. And those bands, in themselves are very close to this kind of genre. It's just that they're more mainstream and not quite so sludgy, whereas this band really is. I think the other thing to say, too, would be how great the drummer really shines on this record, is that he knows exactly where to hit the fills, and when they want to jam out, he jams out. And they're really great at making these songs where they're all inclusive. The jamming definitely can take you back to a Santana era kind of vibe, in the 60s and 70s, where bands played these long jams, but they actually sounded good. Kind of like what you might hear on the Allman Brothers, live at the Fillmore, where there's these intense jams going on, and they sound really, really well. It just doesn't sound like somebody's noodling all over the place. It definitely sounds all thought out and kind of hard, builds into that jazzy kind of structure that a lot of, stoner bands are kind of leaning towards these days. And this band really plays it off really, really well. They really make you think, was this recorded live in front of somebody? Because there's so much energy and so much emotion going into it. And I would love to hear this band produce a live record and kind of showcase that improvisation a lot. And I really think probably in the studio they maybe did a lot of that sort of stuff, but they really, if they did, it really shines through and really makes it, kind of spur of the moment, on the edge of your seat. What's going to happen next? As far as songwriting goes, they have a lot of different things going on, whether it be Middle Eastern theme kind of thing, or outer space, which it definitely has a big grip on the genre right now, that sort of theme, which it's cool. I enjoy it. That's why I love this kind of music. They also take on personal issues. You know, they're very great songwriters, and it really makes a lot of sense that WoFab would want to release a split with these guys because of that heavy bluesy sound. And not only that, but they're such great songwriters. I don't know if Kent Stump has done any producing or engineering with these guys yet, but if he did, I wouldn't really be surprised. And it's also no surprise that these guys have sold out of their vinyl record. Hopefully we'll see a second print of this pretty soon. If you're watching, please do a second print, but you could still go to their Bandcamp and get the digital. I also believe there is a CD version out there, but this record has been all over the place, and if you haven't heard it yet, that's why I'm doing the video. Please listen to it and tell all your friends, because this band is definitely going to be something big very, very, very soon. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants more already. Also, I think it's still in print, but check out their split with WoFat. Also really, really great stuff. You know, right on the cusp of WoFat releasing Midnight Cometh. You know, there's so much great stuff within that small little Texas kind of area right now within the genre. You know, a couple years ago it was Florida, now Texas is becoming the riff monsters to come out of. So definitely hope to hear from them soon. Hopefully there'll be a tour soon. And not only that, but please go check out this record. You're gonna love it. As I said, check out their Bandcamp. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment box below. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and we hope to hear from you soon. Bye.